Good morning, traders. It's Monday, May 13th. Taking a look at the charts, equities are trading slightly positive, up about a quarter, a third percent this morning. If we take a look overall, the market on our short-term 30-minute chart has gone from red bars to overbought to neutral and into a green territory. On Friday, we saw the market gap higher, which talked about in pre-market in our video, saying gaps to the upside are usually short-term bearish. When the market is in this condition, usually we're going to see the market fade back down, fill that gap, which it did. Stocks are set to open a little bit higher this morning, but overall, definitely the market is trying to kick back into an uptrend. Our momentum chart has kicked into an uptrend. Our longer-term daily charts have not fully kicked into an uptrend yet. So we'll see how things unfold, and we'll go from there. Now, if we take a look at the chart of bonds, bonds are up as well this morning. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. This looks like it's kind of sandwiched in between the 50-day and the 20-day, maybe building a little bit of a bull flag. We'll see which way this goes. The overall trend, though, is down. It's a series of lower highs, lower lows. The 50-day is more or less flat or sloping downward. And, of course, the long-term trend is down as well. So we'll see how this unfolds. Bonds, I do believe at some point are going to be a great trade to the long side, but they still could end up making lower lows back from below even last year's lows. So we'll see how that unfolds. If we take a look at the VIX is up this morning, which is kind of interesting. With 13th, I'm wondering if there's just a contract rollover for the VIX creating a pop-up. There is a pop in the VIX. The VIX has been down, just fading lower, lower and lower. As they say that when the VIX is low, it's time to go, which means when the VIX is low, there's not a lot of fear. And when there's not a lot of fear, usually people are all buying stocks. And it's usually when you actually want to, get out. When the VIX is low, it's time to go, meaning leave the stock market. So we'll see how this unfolds. If the market has a pullback, it is on the cusp of another big rally or a very big pullback. And that is what we're waiting to see. We're kind of stuck in no man's land, neutral zone. If we take a look at precious metals this morning, we do have gold down 1%. It had a pretty good pop there the last two sessions. Today giving back a little bit of that. We'll see how it goes. If we look at the overall trend here, it wasn't an uptrend, went neutral. It's popped up here. Overall, it is still in an orange kind of neutral zone. We'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at gold miners. Haven't looked at those. They are trading slightly lower this morning as well. I'm not a big fan of this type of price action. We got up into this area before. It got slammed with selling. It traded sideways for a while. It gapped higher there on Friday and then sold down. And that's partly because the overall stock market gapped higher and it ended up closing lower. So we'll see how that goes. This looks a little short-term kind of top-ish, double top formation. Maybe it's going to consolidate longer here. But overall, the miners in the precious metal space are still in favor of higher pricing. Again, this chart right here, precious metals, I believe we're in this topping phase for the stock market. So we should see energies and precious metals continue to do fairly well and move higher. Taking a look at silver, it is flat today. It's had a very strong pop percentage-wise. It's right back up into these recent highs. Of course, it's always more volatile. It whips around like crazy. It's a little harder to trade. Actually, it's a lot harder to trade, I find. It constantly breaks patterns. That it has a clean pattern, and then it'll have a huge shakeout or a pop or drop that kind of negates it and gives you very difficult read on the market. So I like to follow gold and like GDX, the large cap gold miners and gold stocks as kind of the barometer, the cleaner charts to follow. If you can identify those, then you can generally follow silver and silver miners a little bit easier. Taking a look at crude oil, up 0.75%. It is stuck here in this pattern, trying to figure out if it is going to put in a bottom. If we draw a line across here, you could argue it is kind of right through, go to this low, and we've got right through this consolidation right here. Big consolidation here. We got another big consolidation breakout level here. So it is testing down into this zone, trying to find support. At this point, it's a bear flag. So we'll see if this turns into a bottom and starts to go higher, or if this is going to break down and completely negate this bullish. Right now, it's still bullish down at pretty major support, but It needs to find traction here, or else it is going to break back down, and more or less will be a longer term trend series of lower highs, and we'll have kind of mixed signals in terms of this low working itself down. If we take a look, let's take a look at utilities real quick, just because they have been on a tear, ripping to the upside. They had a little bit of an exhaustion move with the overall stock market on Friday, gapping higher, pulling back, but they have just been on fire. And that's usually a bit of a bearish sign for the stock market. Usually when we see this, the stock market pulls back and has a correction. And ideally, I would like to see the stock market pull back. If we look at this chart pattern, I'd love to see this have a bigger correction and pull back and reset. We are fairly close to the markets kicking back into an uptrend, which I'm not a big fan of at this point. If it did, I would definitely want it to just keep ripping higher, but it is getting overbought. It's up at resistance. I'm hoping we're going to have a ABC type of correction at minimum, meaning an A, B, A, B, and then C type of flush down. And you can see over here, we had a much bigger correction. We had a 5-wave correction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that can create a huge opportunity, which obviously we took part of here. So now we're waiting for another reset, a cleanse of the market. Other than that, I think that is about it. The hot list still dominating. We've got all the defensive plays or commodity plays: silver, copper, gold, utilities, marijuana, carbon, uranium, water, base metals, commodity resources in general. So dominating the top. Down near the bottom are all the volatile kind of FOMO type of stocks. Everybody wants to get in. They don't want to miss out. We got Bitcoin, we got ARK, blockchain, clean tech, hack, TAN, which is the solar sector. So we definitely have some of the aggressive things down there, and they're all struggling. But things are starting to firm up a bit. We do have a lot of sectors here in an uptrend. We have a bunch of sectors in commodity spaces moving back into a bullish phase. So we were all red a couple weeks ago. Now we're starting to turn more green. So things are slowly firming up, but we'll have to take it one bar at a time. Anyways, that's it for now. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.